Happy Halloween.
Aren't you feeling the spirit? Easter just happened. Now it's Halloween.
Yes, I always feel extra Halloweeny on April 28th.
Or which feels more Halloweeny, April 28th or August 7th?
Well, we're gonna talk about that when we get there, because you know how I feel about it.
Yes, we are back. We are in our homes instead of in Disney parks or cruise ships.
Yes, you look nicely tanned. I look like a ghost. Maybe it's appropriate.
I have no makeup on or anything. I'm just tan from our trip.
Yeah.
We were together and you were outside more than me. What happened?
Well, some people just repel. It's a new way to say it. Repel the sunshine.
Like a vampire.
Mhm.
So we're back and we're gonna talk about the news that happened over the last few days, including Halloween party details. And then if you have comments that you submit, we can include those at the end. Heather Thomas, what's in the news?
Well, I went back a little bit. We were talking about this before we went live. I had to go back a little bit because even though we were only gone a week, it feels like we were gone 49 days.
Well, you were gone 2 weeks.
But we were still recording and stuff for most of those days. So
We were.
I was actively engaged in the news. The good thing is that I don't think we missed a whole bunch. So here's a few things that I think are worth mentioning. First of all, we are less than 1 week away from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad reopening.
May 3rd.
May 3rd, which is I think Sunday. Is that right? Let me look. Yeah, that's Sunday. Oh my gosh. So this Sunday, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will reopen. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm excited. It's on our list of things that we get to do on our next trip in May.
Yes, I'm excited too. What do you think is going to happen with Magic Kingdom on that opening day?
Obviously, it'll be very busy back there, but I think otherwise the park will probably be fine. I'm wondering how you feel about going on this ride.
I'm fine. I mean, it will likely probably bother me a little bit, but I'll do anything once.
Has anyone else had this experience? Because this is one of the rides that bothers Heather the most.
It really does. It's those tight curves where, especially where like the bones are sticking out over the track. I think it's pretty tight through there. And that just, it tends to bother me. But it does have all new ride, like the train cars are new and the track is new. So I wonder if it's a little bit smoother, if that will help. Because Rock and Roller Coaster, pretty smooth. It doesn't tend to bother me. I mean, it does, but it's not like over the top. Big Thunder usually bothers me more than Rock and Roller Coaster. But I'm excited to ride it, and it looks like it's going to be pretty. It's got the rainbow caverns, and I think it'll be great.
We'll plan appropriately. Not a lot of rides before, after. Make sure there's little food.
All sounds amazing.
Yeah. But yes, I'm always excited for updates.
Yes, and keep in mind, like you said, until they get the new sections of the park opened up, that back in that corner is a nightmare in general when both of those attractions are open, both Tiana's and Big Thunder Mountain. And I assume that when we have the reopening of Big Thunder, it'll be extra nightmare because it's just a dead end. There's no place for people to go. That's something that's getting fixed when they do the new Cars area. They are adding a walkway that will kind of go back from Big Thunder back around towards Haunted Mansion. So there is an end in sight to that, but for right now, it will be probably kind of tricky back in that area. VIP pass holder information, more of that dropped. As we were expecting, there will again be a lounge in the Morocco Pavilion at Restaurant Marrakesh, or the area formerly known as Restaurant Marrakesh. And I wanted to bring this up specifically because we really love it.
We like a lounge in the Epcot area in Morocco because it's such a great stopping point. Because the World Showcase doesn't have a ton of indoor spots to sit down when you're like super hot or you just want to have like a drink or a snack or something. And so it's just such a great, like we did a group crawl at Food and Wine last fall. And I set it up like we're going to have these seating areas. And it was a mix of outdoor areas that were covered and indoor areas and the air conditioning. And this was one of them.
Yes, because during Food and Wine, it's actually open to anybody who downloads
Hmm.
for it.
Yeah, we weren't excluding non-annual pass holders for that.
Yes, no. But for the VIP pass holder time, which is May 1st through July 31st, it is open only to um, annual pass holders. It doesn't cost anything. It's got, like you said, air conditioning. There are some little snacks, water. They have the mint tea inside there. You can get some of the Moroccan mint tea. They have little complimentary pass holder buttons. And back in that area, there will also be an animated photo pass magic shot.
They also had wristbands for the stage
Mhm.
shows.
Yes, that was I don't for Food and Wine.
Hmm.
Yeah, so not during the summer because there's no, at least for most of
They
this time,
they could give them out, but there's nothing on the stage.
yes, there's nothing on the stage. Another thing that they're doing this year for annual pass holders is a exclusive character meet and greet, and this is going to be taking place in Epcot over in that Magic Eye Theater, which is where the Disney 100 characters met when where Mickey and Minnie met. So just outside of the Pixar Short Film Festival,
Hmm.
there will be an exclusive character meet and greet there. They haven't said who it will be. It'll run from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. and again from May 1st through July 31st.
Did you say that's for annual pass holders?
Yeah.
Not okay. So isn't that normally where they have the Disney Visa meet and
So
greet?
inside the theater, right when you first walk in, not
Oh, right. Okay, not next door.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Both of them are very close together.
Yes. So, I mean, if you are a Disney Visa card holder, you could get all
Hmm.
sorts of characters. They haven't said who it's going to be this time, so we'll just have to wait and see. But that's kind of fun.
Add it to our list.
Add it to our list. So that is kind of what you missed on Glee this past week while we were floating in the ocean and unable to record.
We were doing donuts in the ocean.
We did not go far, but we were gone for 4 days.
That's right. I downloaded an app that you can put in your cruise information and it shows you the route you took. And I was like, oh, there we were. Going 10 miles an hour. That's what it said. We were going 10 miles an hour and just doing loops.
No wonder everybody thought it was the smoothest cruise they've ever been on.
It was because we were barely moving.
We were barely moving.
Okay, so that's the stuff that happened before today. But then today we have Halloween party details.
We do. We got a big chunk of them. We don't have everything. We don't have ticket prices, but we do at least have some Halloween party details. Halloween this year starts for Disney on August the 7th,
The earliest ever.
earliest ever.
You and I have been there when it was somewhere in this range, and the second party was 9 days later.
Yes.
And we typically go to the first two parties. So that was nuts.
Brutal. That was a brutal trip.
We stayed in an Airbnb that was really gross.
Yeah. And just kind of hung out because it was really hot. That time of year, if you're unfamiliar, that time of year in Florida is not the most pleasant.
It's not. I would say the hottest I've ever been was at the first Halloween party in August one time. And I had to go inside the Hall of Presidents just to get the air because I was like, I don't think I can do this. It was hot.
Hot, just humid. The air, there was no breeze. Everything was just thick. So, gird your loins, if you will, and prepare yourself.
Don't wear a big elaborate costume.
Yes, keep it simple. Maybe start prepping for the heat if you're planning to attend the party and you want to go from the start of the party to the end. Why are you laughing?
Because I think you're saying this to me.
Well-
I live somewhere really hot. You would think.
Yeah. Well, I think just a little dipping out just a little bit will get you all ready for this. You've got a couple months to prepare yourself.
Let me go practice walking to the beach.
There you go. Just like before, the party will officially run from 7 to midnight, but with your ticket, you can enter Magic Kingdom as early as 4 o'clock, which is a nice way to skip buying a regular park ticket that day. If you just want to spend your morning chilling at your resort, you can do that. And then you'll be able to head into the park at 4. In August, the party is going to take place mostly on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. In September, it's that same pattern plus a random Thursday. And then in October, it kicks it up a notch and you have Thursdays and then most Fridays, Tuesdays, and Sundays plus Halloween, which is on a Saturday.
And even if you are if you're planning to go this time of year and not go to the party, you should be aware of these dates because you need to plan around them.
Yes, for a couple of reasons. Number one, because if you want to go to Magic Kingdom when the crowds are at their lowest, a party date is a great day for that because a lot of people will skip it because you will not get the nighttime entertainment and the park closes early. So you won't get a full day worth of Magic Kingdom time, but you will also have lower crowds. So it's kind of, you have to decide which is most important to you. And if you actually have a trip where you're going to have at least 2 days in Magic Kingdom, we would recommend one day doing it on a party day so you get the lower crowds, and maybe one day on a non-party day so you can get the nighttime entertainment.
Yes, and may I introduce you to our friend, the Park Picker tool, because you can put in your dates and it will tell you that there's a Halloween party going on, and we will recommend going during the day if it makes sense with your plans. And if you are going to the Halloween party, you can check that option within this tool to say that you're going there.
Yes. And this time of year is also a good time of year to consider park hopper tickets.
Yes.
Just-
I wouldn't go without park hopper tickets this time of year.
Mhm. Agreed. Okay, so what's new for 2026? They've teased a few new things for this. They're Disney loves a dance party, so they're going to have Stitch hosting a dance party at the Rocket Tower Plaza stage.
Which is the open air stage near People Mover,
Mm-hmm.
back in that area.
Yes, and then this other little nugget that they dropped was very intriguing to me. So they mentioned trick or treat trail surprises, where you can expect to see some familiar and fiendish faces popping up to surprise guests along the candy trails.
Well, they have been doing that. Like in Princess Fairy Tale Hall, they had villains.
Yes,
And then inside PhilharMagic, they had Donald, something like this.
yes, but it wasn't. It wasn't really like announced-ish.
Mm-mm.
It was more of a thing you stumbled upon, and I don't remember if they had the villains in Princess Fairy Tale Hall last year. So it gives me like the Oogie Boogie vibes, kind of how.
Yes. Oogie
How-
Boogie in California Adventure, for people that don't know, is their version of a Halloween party, but they have characters on their trails.
Yes, it's very intentional, and people go to the trails just to see the characters, and they're really amazing characters. I don't think we're going to get maybe that level, but like you said, there have been in the past a couple areas, and I would love to see more of those. I think it's a great way to get people to the characters and let them only have to wait in one line, a line for their treat and a line to see the character. So
That would be amazing. I do fear that they're just going to make us walk by them quickly.
me too, which is also okay. I mean, to me, that's okay. You can snap a picture as you're walking past, which is what you do on the treat trails at Oogie Boogie. So
Mm-hmm.
it works out there. All of the other things look to be returning. Of course, the Boo to You Halloween parade starts at 8:15. So hopefully, if you have little ones, they'll be able to stay awake long enough to see that. The Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular. Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular, which is the fireworks show that's hosted by Jack Skellington. Lots of exclusive character meet and greets. And then Disney also said this, and this is a quote: "For even more creepy character fun, keep your eyes peeled because you may see new and returning Disney villains appear as you creep by through the streets." So, don't know what that means.
We're going to find out August 7th.
We are. The Cadaver Dans will be returning. And of course, Disney has been doing some ride overlays in the past few years, and those will be returning as well. No specifics, but I'm guessing at least Space Mountain. They usually do something with the lights on the teacups. Where else for there?
Space Mountain teacups and there's one
Monsters.
Well, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is a trick or treat stop usually. Yeah, there's one other ride. Oh my gosh. What is it? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. So that is what we know so far. They did tease, new merch, which there's always going to be new merch, and
Mhm.
new party food. There will always be new party food. And I think that's about all the details. We won't have prices until tickets go on sale. So
Are not cheap.
no. And I don't know if you just saw some other news just pop up, Shannon.
What is it?
I think we might have Food and Wine Festival dates. Yep, we sure do.
They decided to do both today.
Yes, they did. Okay, so Food and Wine Festival will be starting August 27th.
They said today we're making August news.
I'm so happy for us. I love to ease back into work after we've been gone. So Food and Wine Festival is going August 27th through November 21st. Let's see, they've got no specific details on the booths, but they do have they mentioned 3 items that are returning. This is hilarious. They don't have any specific information on the booths, but they are going to tell us that they're bringing back the street corn style dumplings. So that's great. Emil's Fromage Montage is coming back with a lovely AI generated image, it looks like, on the Disney Parks blog. Eat to the Beat, of course, returning. Yeah, very generic announcement, but we do have those Food and Wine Festival dates. Probably wanting people to know those dates as they start planning for their Halloween party trips, because a lot of people like to pair those two together.
And I just looked it up. D23 Expo is August 14th to the 16th, which is another thing to pay attention to in August because
Yeah.
that's going to be a big announcement. So August is going to be busy.
Very, very busy, which is odd because it's also one of the slowest months of the year at Disney World.
It
But
sure is.
on the news side, it will be keeping us busy.
That's right. All right. So, shall we see what's going on in the comments? All right. We've got Becky. She says, "Good morning. Question: doing an 8-night split stay in June, 3 nights at the beach club. What do I need to know about making sure we can do a day at Stormalong Bay? Do wristbands sell out?" No,
No.
you just have to have them on.
Yes, and as long as you are staying there, you have access to the pool.
Yeah, just make sure you have like a room key or magic band, and they'll let you in.
Mhm.
Yeah. August 7th is Insanity. Went to a party in September once and it was so sweaty. Yes, can confirm. We have been sweaty. Mark likes to chime in with a spicy take. Nearly $1,000 per day to do circles in the ocean. Well,
Oh.
Mark, we enjoy the ship and being with 26 people in our group.
Mhm.
Carrie says, "Good morning. Do you think Lightning Lane tiers will change with Muppets Coaster and Big Thunder coming back online?"
I don't think so. Big Thunder was a tier 1 and it's returning as a tier 1. Same thing with Rock and Roller Coaster. So I feel like things will probably stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's any reason to change it.
Yeah, we kept them on our graphics the same,
Mhm.
and they're coming back the same, so that should be good. Rich, welcome back. Christine, glad you're home safely. Laura, 1 week until Disney World. Woke up at 4 a.m. West Coast time to book Lightning Lanes. Good morning, Laura.
Good
That is-
morning. That time change is brutal.
The time change is brutal when you're doing dining, but when you're doing midnight activities, it's a little bit easier because it's only 9 p.m.
That's true.
They unfortunately do have it on the same day, though.
Win some, lose some.
You do. And I say this as somebody who is on mountain time. So I will be getting up early to do some bookings for us too. For Curious Adventurous says, which month is better in your opinion, August or September? Going to be there both months. Thoughts on a Tuesday versus the weekend? Example, August 18th versus September 20th or 22nd.
If they're talking specifically about the party,
I think so, yeah.
I mean, all the parties have a max cap. So if the party sells out, ideally a sellout for one day is going to be the same as another. Sometimes I think Disney does tweak the maximum number of people in the parties because I've been to a sellout that was really busy and a sellout that didn't feel nearly as busy. Um, but in a perfect world, a sellout is a sellout. Temperature wise, I think they're both probably going to be aggressive. You're going to have a less likelihood of something selling out on a Tuesday versus a weekend because you'll have fewer local people that are probably going to go. I don't know. What do you think, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was researching a future question while you were answering that, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right. The question that I was looking up is this one. Thoughts on the Magic Band news over at Disneyland. So they are phasing out Magic Band Plus at Disneyland. And there's speculation they could be doing this everywhere because they sell so few.
What?
They're just not selling hardly any Magic Bands anywhere. Yeah. I mean,
okay, but maybe they're not selling them because it is stupidly priced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll still have the tap styles, but we were just there and we had Magic Bands in our purse and we didn't use them.
No.
We just use our phones. So you could do that.
Okay, do you think they would do that?
I have been wondering if they're doing it at Disney World for a while because of the availability.
What do you mean the availability?
Lack of availability. They just don't have them for sale as much as they used to.
Mm. Yeah, then why did they just enable him on the cruise ships?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, I mean, it's everywhere. It's Alani, it's Vero Beach, it's at Hilton Head, it's everything Disney.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's super strange.
Okay, I want one last question on this though before we move on. Help me remember, could you use them on the resort at the resorts at Disneyland or only in the parks?
I think if you're staying on, that's actually a good question. I'm not sure. I was thinking you could in the rooms, but you've probably stayed on site more recently than I have.
I don't remember using it at the rooms,
Mm.
but maybe maybe somebody can chime in. It's been a while. It just feels like people like it for their rooms, but I don't know.
It was never going to be as popular at Disneyland. People out there are
Mhm.
just different. And
not in a bad way. They're just different.
no, not in a bad way. It's just that they're not likely to buy it. They're more likely to use their phones or
Yeah.
whatever. Rich wants to know, how did you do at Springtime Surprise races, Heather?
They were pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. They weren't as brutal as what I thought. It was hot. It was really, really hot, but I really do I love a 10 mile. I really like that distance. Did I do a character stop right before the very last hill just so I wouldn't have to run up the hill? I did, but I did run up the hill, so I feel like that was a win. But all in all, it was really good. No, I mean, no pressure, no issues with getting swept or cut off or anything, which is always nice. So that meant we got to do as many characters as we wanted. It was Brent's first time doing Run Disney. He had a really good time and enjoyed it. It was a little difficult though, like running and getting up super early and then jumping on a plane and flying. Like that one was tricky because I just wanted to nap and I couldn't do that. But otherwise, it was fun. I do love springtime. It's a very chill weekend for Run Disney.
Heather's doing marathon weekend, which is much longer distances in January. So this feels like a warm up.
Yes.
Charlie says, what is Disney Starlight? I just saw your recent post. I'm assuming you saw the most recent park hours updates. Starlight is the nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom. And the reason it's on the park hours updates information is that they don't tend to release them when they release their park hours. So about 60 days beforehand on a browser or 75 days on the app, the park hours for all the parks will be published. And later they could be modified, but they often have no Starlight dates at all until a week or two beforehand. So when we do the park hours updates posts, we are showing that they were added because people are freaking out that there's not going to be a parade, but there is.
Yeah.
Christine says, any dates for Halloween party? Yes. Welcome, Christine. We talked about those earlier before you joined. And they start August 7th and they happen about 3 days a week in August, September, about 4 days a week in October. Tickets go on sale in May. I hate when it makes one of us bigger than the other. Okay. Halloween costume for girls in a Halloween. I really recommend. What we typically do is wear T-shirts that look like costumes, like they've been printed to look like costumes, and that way we can just pair it with like a skirt or shorts.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend even like just full Disney bounding. You don't have to have a regular costume, but you're going to see tons of people Disney bounding, and that makes it very easy to pick lightweight things because you're in total control over that. So I would focus on comfort and then go for cuteness.
We have a few people that have chimed in. No, you cannot open the doors and you cannot pay with them at Disneyland.
Okay, so it really makes sense to me then if they're going to eliminate them out there, and less likely in my brain for them to eliminate them maybe at Disney World.
Yeah. That included our friend Roseanne, who was on the cruise with us and stayed on site. So there you go.
Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, Roseanne. Rich says, I personally like the matchup bands for my resort rooms and tapping them for lightning lanes because it's easy access right on my wrists. I hope they don't phase them out. Yes, I agree. We will continue using ours, but also they're not cheap. So totally understand that as well. Okay, well, I think that is going to be it for today. Tomorrow we will have Q&A questions. So there's a Q&A happening on Instagram right now. Submit questions there. I answer about 25 on Instagram. And then whatever I can't answer there, we do it together here. And sometimes I save questions if I think Heather is going to be better at answering them.
That seems cruel. Save the easy ones for me, okay?
No, they'll be like, this and this about the Run Disney race. I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought you were going to save like the super high complex ones that hurt my brain.
Just ones that I'm like, if I asked Heather that right now, she would know it. So if you want to ask questions that Heather's going to know, it's good to be on YouTube.
If I keep them easy.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow.